Hi friends, it's Sunday night. I can't even believe it. How is the weekend already over? How is that possible? So I was busy today doing stuff around the house. My house is almost done with being under construction, which I'm very much looking forward to. We are putting back the house together, and this has been the longest 4-week project of my life. It's literally been going on for 2 months. It was supposed to take 4 to 6 weeks. We still don't have a doorknob. Anyway, I digress. So, tonight is going to be a tea night where we cover a bunch of different topics, and then once I'm done with the topics, we'll just do like an open chat and chit chat. Oh yeah, that was the thing. If you guys are interested to know, I got my beachy waves through this magic wand. It's a triple barrel Amica. It's amazing. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I literally just bought this. I'm super excited, and that's what it makes. So it makes beachy waves. And I got it from my hairstylist. I bought it at her salon so that she would get credit for it. From Nikki. Thank you, Nikki, for fixing my hair. I had to actually go back to the hair salon because the toner slipped out of my roots. And so if you've noticed in the last few days, I had like really sort of brassy yellow on the top, and then it was just like this color on the bottom. And it slipped out of the roots after I got it done last week, and so I had to go back in today for her to fix it. And then the wand was there, so I was so excited, and then she fixed my hair. So thank you, Nikki. Love you. Okay. And Nikki is my favorite because whenever I go in to get my hair cut or hair done, she watches the channel, and we were talking about all kinds of tea. We were talking about Shane's new series of Jeffree Star, the fall of the beauty community on YouTube. She obviously loves beauty stuff as a cosmetologist, and she's been very disenchanted with what's been going on beauty channels on YouTube. So we were talking about that. And then I started thinking about, I have a bunch of stuff that I've been wanting to talk about this weekend. I haven't had time to do different videos, so I was going to just mishmash them all together. I got some stuff on 90 Day Fiancé, some stuff on Jersey Shore, JWoww and Ronnie updates, and I can't even remember, probably some other stuff. So, the first place that we're going to start is with Deavan, Clegg in the 90 Day the Other Way. And there's been some drama on the Instagram. I swear to God, all the drama for 90 Day Fiancé happens on Instagram, you guys. It's always on Instagram. And generally speaking, the drama that happens on Instagram is spearheaded by Miss Laura Jalali. That's right. The woman that is 53 years old, that is from Canada, who was in, where was she? She went over to Qatar to marry her husband, Aladdin. They have since separated. He filed for divorce, according to all the leaks. Tomorrow night is the actual tell-all, the first installment of this season. It's been a wild season. Jenny found out that Summit was married, and she left. There's Evelyn and Corey got engaged this past week, but there's been tons of drama on Instagram for that one as well. So let's start with the Deavan stuff, and then I can kind of fill you in about what's going on with Corey. I don't have a ton of screenshots for that one because I just remembered in the back of my mind what happened. So here's what's going on with this. So somebody leaked a bunch of information out about the tell-all. And this is supposed to be about Deavan Clegg, who is married to Jahoon. I don't know how she pronounces the name. I always say it wrong. You get mad at me. I always forget how to say his name. They live in South Korea. They recently just had a baby. And she is actually suffered a miscarriage very recently, devastating. But it sounds like it was not a bad thing. I mean, it was tragic that she went through the miscarriage, but she's actually not doing very well health-wise. With her last pregnancy, Deavan was diagnosed with preeclampsia. Then she got diagnosed with postclampsia, so she's got the eclampsia after she's given birth. Still continues to have really high blood pressure. She had an emergency C-section. And so when she found out that she was pregnant again, it was pretty shocking. They were not sure if the baby would survive because she still has super high blood pressure. And sadly, the baby did not survive. So she's been going through a miscarriage. But in the middle of all of this, Laura, Deavan actually called her out because Laura, if you remember, we did a video about it. She created this like lie that she was pregnant, and she was pregnant with Aladdin's baby. She said that it was an ectopic pregnancy after people gave her pushback. And it was actually pretty clear to me, and I want to thank all of my subscribers for pointing this out, is had she had an ectopic pregnancy, it would have been visible on the first time she went to see a doctor. And she was very unclear about that, and she would have known right away, and she acted like she didn't know right away. So people could kind of smell out her lies. Well, it turned out she was never really pregnant to begin with. Deavan actually made a video on Instagram basically calling out the lie that Laura created the pregnancy lie to take heat off of other people in the cast. I don't know who she would be talking about, but Laura's been kind of stirring drama all over the place. She is now in Ecuador, actually with Evelyn. She cannot go back to the United States, according to her ex-husband. So apparently, when Laura was in Florida with her son Liam, she was in the United States illegally. When she left there to go to Qatar, she was actually like deported, and she's no longer allowed, not deported, but once she left, the United States basically made it so that she can't go back to the United States because she was actually in the United States illegally to begin with. So she is now prohibited from going back to the United States. She's decided to like hang out in Ecuador now with Evelyn, and she's a resident of Canada. Now, she actually delivered Liam in Florida, and so he has dual residency in both Florida or in the United States and in Canada, according to his father. And his father actually has been active on some of the 90-Day Fiancé Facebook pages. So it's been a lot of drama. Deavan was really irritated about the lie about pregnancy. She thought it was really tacky, really tasteless. She called him out. Well, that didn't make Laura very happy. And so then more tea was leaked about Deavan. So around the time all of this was going down, Deavan says, decided that they were going to create a fake account and start leaking things from the tell-all. Well, Deavan says that what's been leaked here is completely false, but I'll read it to you, and then we'll show you the video of Deavan debunking it. So this is what the fake account said. So it's really messy, and I'm going to try to tell it as neutral as I can. For the tell-all, Lita went to New York to babysit Taeyang and to take pictures of Deavan modeling the shoes she's trying to sell. Immediately after, Lita posted bragging about babysitting and about knowing all the tea from the tell-all. There was a lot of criticism about letting Lita babysit, and Deavan posted a statement that no one but her mother babysat her child for the tell-all. Laura has held that Lita is a source of the leak. Since then, a lot of accusations have been made about Laura. Things have been said about a pregnancy. Deavan has made up multiple posts calling Laura out. Today, there was a comment made from Laura on IG referring to Lita leaking information and repeating the claim that Lita did in fact babysit Taeyang, calling into question Deavan's judgment for allowing her to. These clips are from Deavan's response to those so this is like basically summing up this whole thing for you. She also says the leaks are 100% untrue. Okay, so here's what they say were leaked about from the tell-all, and then this is what Deavan says is untrue. Aladdin asks Laura for a divorce. TLC releases info, video for otherwise, can't remember, of Evelyn's cheating. Aladdin flirts with Avery via text. Angela takes a bite out of every donut, calls Avery a bad Muslim, and physically attacks her, causing a security to remove her. Tom was the only foreign fiance in attendance. That's all I can remember. And Deavan also says that Laura said she could release pregnancy news to distract the heat from another cast member. I haven't checked it out yet, but if I'm not mistaken, Laura's news was released around the time we learned Summit is married, so that's my uninformed guess at this point. I've tried to state facts as I recall and not interject opinion, but if I've said everything in error, please feel free to correct me. I don't want to see fighting or clashes of opinions here. So apparently the rumors that were spread were that Lita, who is a former castmate that has not got the best reputation, has kind of a temper, was babysitting Tae Yang, and that she was doing things that were not like in agreement, and then Lita started leaking things, all of which Deavan says is absolutely false. That's not true. And then Deavan said that all of these things that did leak here didn't happen. Although I have learned that there is, I've been hearing through the grapevine a lot that Eladin does ask her for the divorce. So I think that actually might be true, but I guess we'll have to see that tomorrow. But the other stuff she said isn't true. So obviously Laura was the one that created, so Deavan basically says Laura is the one that created this sock account, and that's the account that leaked the information, not Lita. It's like, how much more messy can this get? I don't even understand like why Laura has to get into the middle of things, why she has to start drama, why she has to go after people. I mean, this is a woman that is in her 50s, and you would think should know better than to start rumors, but apparently she's bored with life and it has to do that. And sadly, Deavan was the target here, and it's likely that she was the target because she was called out, Laura, before for leaking the fake pregnancy story. So now they're saying the fake pregnancy story was to cover up Summit's marriage, but I don't really know that that's all that salacious or juicy, to be honest. All right. I'm more than guessing that it was leaked to cover up something to do with Laura. So after that leak goes out, basically calling Deavan a bad parent, she says, for said cast member saying I'm a terrible mom. First, it's none of your business who watches my child. Secondly, take a look at yourself in the mirror, take your own advice. Before you dish out, you should say you're against bullying, but yet you harass me all the time. Sorry, you're not relevant anymore. And then she basically says that she's going to go live. She literally doesn't care if she's going to get in trouble. And she said Laura is the one that has leaked everything. Laura responds, Deavan and Lita clearly told all the cast, and it is in IG, she was there to babysit the baby, not the little girl. Then days later, Leah was leaking all kinds of info about the tell-all with her partner, John Yates. Sorry, but that's fact, look it up. The cast actually complained that Lita was there. So Lita was in another season. John Yates, is a blogger, IG person that does 90 Day Fiancé. I actually love his Instagram. He always has really good stuff. If you like tea related to 90 Day Fiancé, go ahead and follow John. But so she's basically saying that it's Lita that leaked it all. It's not. Laura doesn't have the best track record, let's just say. Oh, okay. So that was Amber. All right. So let me show you the video from Deavan basically breaking this down. I know it's so confusing.
So basically what happened is a said cast member is going around talking shit about me and name calling. I do not name call because it's not right. This person is saying that I leaked information. I did not leak information because honestly I could give two fucking shits less about what happened, and the stuff that was leaked is 100% false. So you guys should keep watching, because what was leaked was honestly, the stuff that was leaked was kind of fucking boring. Okay, the real stuff is good, so keep watching. And this said person has been very mean to me. after I took them out, treated them, showed them a good time, tried to be super civil and nice with them. And I did treat them. I took them to Koreatown and we had some soju. I was trying to show them my husband's culture and like show them a good time and talk to them. And I was very kind to this person until they happened to lie about something that I was personally going through. And because I was personally going through it, I did lash out like a child. I admit I was being a child when I called that person out on Instagram because I was upset. And so now this said person is probably upset, and this is my personal thoughts. This isn't factual. This is my personal thoughts, and it's kind of sick and gross. I think this person is upset that I went through an actual miscarriage, not because of feeling sorry for me, but because they are jealous of the attention I am getting from the miscarriage. Now, let me get this straight. This miscarriage is people are being so nice and so supportive. So I think this said person is angry about that because this said person had lied about that. And I know this said person has lied because I have seen the messages of her saying it was a lie. And that is why I was upset. Sorry for the camera's moving because he's jumping. We have a giant mirror in front of me, so he loves to dance and look at himself.
Okay, so that is not Amber. That's actually Deavan Clegg from 90 Day Fiancé the other way. She is not high. She is actually just waking up in the morning at 7 a.m. In South Korea when she woke up. She was sick at the time and taking care of her 5-month or 6-month-old son, and her daughter and husband were asleep. So that clears up that. But if you heard that, she believes that Laura is doing this to her because recently Deavan announced that she had a miscarriage, and now Laura is leaking all of this nasty stuff about Deavan, and she believes that Laura is doing it because Laura so desperately wants attention that that Deavan got positive attention and support for going through the miscarriage, which she said was devastating. It's been a really, really, really tough year for her, having gone through a high-risk pregnancy, moving to another country where she doesn't speak the language, moving her children there. Lots has been going on there. And she says that she believes or feels that Laura is doing this because Laura is jealous of the attention that Deavan is getting. And it's her opinion, but to be honest, I wouldn't put it past Laura. Laura seems so obsessed with having attention. I can't figure out what's wrong with her. I found some screenshots of her ex-husband talking in a 90 Day Fiancé group, and he basically said that she's very unstable. Now, this is alleged. She's unstable. She has mental health issues and is really scamming everyone. So take that for what it's worth. So that was the Deavan drama. I hope I did that justice, but basically everything that Laura leaked was inaccurate, and Deavan debunked it. She said that Lita did babysit her son. Lita has a child. Lita has a little boy. And she said that Lita did really well with her son. She got pictures the whole time. She was very respectful. She sent photos of him every hour. It was a really long day of filming, she said, 14 hours. And I have heard from people that know Lita. Lita was on a previous season, and she actually came off to be a little bit bitchy when she came over, and she was fighting with her husband's daughter, and there was just a lot of drama with Lita. And from people I've talked to that know Lita, she was actually painted really unfavorably by the editing in this show and is still kind of dealing with the fallout there. So not always what we see on TV is correct. So Laura is on 90 Day Fiancé the other way, as is Deavan. So this is the 90 Day Fiancé thing. Then Miss Portwood showed up. There's just a picture of her. That's one of the few pictures we've seen of her in a while. Hasn't done any more lives lately. Hasn't had a lot to say since she was educating us all about mental health. Interestingly, it's actually World Mental Health Day today. Take care of your mental health. All right. Then Mr. Zach, JWoww's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, we should say, following the Jersey Shore episode where Angelina was getting a little grindy on him and he was getting a little grabby on her. JWoww made a statement on Instagram essentially saying, know your worth, I will never settle again. Zach actually went on to Instagram, and he is 24 years old, so they call him 24, and he said, I made mistakes that I cannot take back, which I take full responsibility for. Jenny does not deserve my damage, does not deserve any damage from anybody else. This is on me. I sincerely apologize to Jenny. I apologize to Angelina as well. I love Jenny with everything I have. I make this known to her every day. I will continue to do everything to make this known to her and her kids also, who also have my heart. I will make it certain that nothing like this ever happens again in any way, regardless of the outcome. Now, sources told Us Weekly that they actually saw Zach and Jenny out, I believe, last night at some sort of event. They appeared to be cordial. They weren't acting any sort of PDA or couple-y, according to the source. And then Jenny was actually at the pumpkin patch with her kids today. So, and not with Zach. So, at this point, they're accordingly split up, but who knows? And then other people that I've talked to have said that there is some suspicion that maybe Angelina did this to create a storyline for the show and had wanted to maybe humiliate Jenny. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but we did see in Jenny's statement the other day that she was talking about how this had been made into a storyline. So who knows if that's true. And then is that it? Okay. So then let's talk about Ronnie. Okay. So that was the Jenny update. Now, for Ronnie. Ronnie was actually in court on Friday, and guess who didn't show up? Any guess? Jen. Jen Harley did not show up in court on Friday, and she did not request an extension of the no contact order. So the no contact order that was placed by emergency by the Los Angeles Police Department on the night of his arrest was lifted. And he has basically free reign to do whatever he wants at this point. He can see Jen if he wants to. There is no contact restrictions at this point. He was actually at Disneyland with Ariana, his daughter, on Saturday. Jen posted photos of her with her daughter at the pumpkin patch a couple days ago. So this makes me worried because they were just saying only a couple days ago that they were done for good. But the fact that she didn't show up at the courthouse really concerns me that this is like not going to be over. Even though sources connected to Ronnie says that he finally realizes that this relationship is toxic and maybe not good for Jen, or Ariana. The fact that she didn't show up at court and the fact that she didn't put another no contact order in, it really makes me wonder like how serious like they are about not staying together. Because if you were serious about getting out of this type of situation, you would hold tight to that. Like for instance, Andrew Glennon, Amber Portwood's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, he showed up to court and he got that no contact order extended. He currently has a 3-year no contact order in place with him and Amber. And part of the no contact order with Amber and her son James was lifted, but not all of it. She's allowed supervised probation or supervised visitation with James at this time. But like, if it was as serious as it was, and if she was calling police fearing for her life, and according to what TMZ found, a police report for the emergency contact order, she told police that he threatened to kill her, and then she doesn't show up to court. This is just so typical of these two. Most no contact orders are standard 3 years, just so you know, once they go beyond the temporary no contact. So it's kind of, I don't know. I just feel like this relationship isn't going to be over if they're allowed to have contact. I can't see how they won't get back together, to be honest. Even if Ronnie could get into trouble for this, there are still no charges that have been filed yet in this specific case, which is also weird. Like, I don't know what's taking so long. I don't live in Los Angeles, so I don't know how long it takes for charges to be filed. But typically, if you're arrested, an arraignment would happen pretty shortly after the arrest, and there has been nothing yet for Ronnie, even though he was initially booked on charges of kidnapping. So, yes, my puppies are here. Never even heard of some of these people. There is the K-pop stuff, but I haven't gotten into that yet, David. So that's where we're at for all the Sunday night tea. Are we having problems in chat? Who's having problems in chat? What's going on here? I digress. Patricia is actually not an uncommon statement. It means you have tailed off of the actual topic at hand and you have digressed into another topic. And I have said I digress for years, and I can assure you I am probably 10 years older than Grace, if not more. So I did not take a phrase from Grace, and I digress is actually a common way of telling people that you have trailed off onto something. Who got blocked? I'm confused. We're not doing any blocking tonight, mods. Please. Who got blocked? Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I digress is a really common statement. Okay, she's not blocked. I don't know. People think that because Grace Report says that I digress is like somehow she owns that trademark. I don't know. Like, it's funny. I used to watch her a long, long time ago. I have not watched anything on her channel in a long time. Years. But I have said I digress for a long time. Years. So, okay. Thank you. No one's blocked. So Tiffany got timed out. What did Tiffany say? Yeah, I digress is just common. Yeah, apparently one person owns the I digress. I don't know. Cypress, how about we just go off, how about we just not hammer at this issue? We try not to talk about things that are not related to what's going on in the topics. So let us not talk about what Erica King is doing. Erica is a very valued member of our moderator team, and I trust her. So the Beachy waiver is actually a Mica. It's a triple barrel, and it's called the High Tide Deep waiver. Do I think that Jenny will get back with 24? I have no idea. Probably. Tiffany said we should only talk about topics you are covering at the moment, nothing off subject. That is true. We try to stick to the topics we are covering at the time so that we don't derail onto other channel information, other topics that are not related to what I'm talking about, because then the chat just gets sideways and then people aren't paying attention. If you're here to chat, we hope that you're watching and listening to what's going on. Oh, the only rules that there are is that you stay on topic and that we try to limit cursing, but it's not a hard, fast rule. You're allowed to swear, but we appreciate it if you would mind that. And then we just ask that you be respectful to other people. So we don't name call. That's about it. Correct. So we don't digress. What did we do for my son's birthday? We bought him a bunch of gifts, some of which my dog has already eaten. Oh my God. You guys, you know what? A funny story. Earlier today, I came into my office and on the floor of my room, so I know I told you that my dog chewed my Bible up, or our old Bible up. Well, I came into the room and on the floor was a critical thinking book that I had from from a graduate school class I took. I was dying because now she's chewed up the Bible and a critical thinking book. Like, what's next? Is she trying to do all of the thinking in this house? Does she have no, like, she's just picking books that, like, are surrounding philosophy or thinking? This is just beyond. I don't even know. I was like, what is the irony here? Her last book was the Bible and now this one's critical thinking. What is this? Yeah. I do have a P.O. box. It's listed in my About section. So if you'd like to send gifts or messages there, you can do that. Happy birthday, Cynthia. So on Friday, my son went to school. Everyone's saying happy birthday to him. He got a little bracelet from his teacher. He learned how to call me on the phone. He got a bunch of presents. We took him out to dinner, even though he doesn't eat my mouth very much. And then yesterday we stayed at home and we played and played and played with all of his toys. And I went grocery shopping and that was about it. We actually haven't done birthday parties for him in a couple of years because he gets super overwhelmed by them. So we try to just do like lots and lots of presents and just let him play and play and play and give him some free time, and that's all he wants. He doesn't really care about the parties. Whenever we have parties, he gets too overwhelmed. So Domingo, we're moving on from this topic. If you can't move on from this topic, we will ask you to stop, please. My dog does have bones, trust me, but she just gets into everything. She's a puppy. We have lots of bones. She chewed up some toys. I mean, we give her 2 seconds and she's got stuff in her mouth. She does it right in front of us. I've asked you to move on, Cypress, multiple times. If you can't move on, I will time you out. I have been watching, I did a video earlier today about the new episode of Marriage Boot Camp. I posted it earlier today. Yeah, I did a whole recap of the first episode. I did misspeak. Laura was actually dating an NBA player and had a couple kids with him. So that part I got wrong. Sorry. Thank you, Brandy. My hair is so much fun. I did a recap of Friday night's episode. Yeah, Aaron Carter does seem super sad, but you know what? His mother is like master gaslighter. But she was actually like, they were at the, they had like a party for the show on Friday night, I think, for the launch or whatever. And I guess he gave some sort of interview that made people's like head scratches. I don't know. I didn't watch it. But you know who else was at the party? Farrah. Aaron was actually on Instagram Live as I was going on to stream, and he was just playing with music online. He wasn't really saying very much. She would go to the opening of a paper bag. What do I think about Amber becoming a mental health advocate? I think you cannot be a mental health advocate if you yourself are not taking steps to make your mental health better. So I think her video made a lot of you very angry that are taking the steps that you necessary to manage your mental illnesses. And I think that it's maybe a deflection, and she's attempting to use this as an excuse maybe. I don't really know. I think what she was doing was talking about movies, which is so weird to me. She was talking about like One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Girl Interrupted. And it's like, why are you talking about movies? They don't even talk about mental illness in the right context. And like lobotomies and shock therapy haven't been used in a really long time. She was talking about thorazine or whatever and telling people not to be on it. I just think it was weird. Like I would say, like as a mental health, if you are a mental health advocate, some of the things you wouldn't do would tell people not to take medication, or to to speak badly about medication, or I don't know, talk about like treatments that were used a long time ago, or stigmatize things about like people being in insane asylums. Like she was talking about how like they used to throw kids in insane asylums. Like that's not even true. Kids with disabilities ended up like in facilities, but not like insane asylums. I just, I was just like, whatever.
Don't bring your iPad in here anymore. iPad is not to be used when you're going potty. You understand?
Thank you.
Order on the route and get it back.
Shock therapy is not used that often. Anyways, it was used. My aunt went through it. I had 2 aunts that went through it, but it's not helpful. Jesse L says, I judge people too harshly sometimes. Try to love harder. I do love people, but if someone asks me for an opinion on if I think something, I will share my opinion. That's what my channel is. Commentary. I like people. I don't have any Chrisley updates. Nothing has been going on, to be honest. And it's not because he threatened anything of me. It's literally because there's nothing to talk about. Nothing new. We're not talking about Janelle's judge. I don't even know anything about that, but getting a judge changed is not that uncommon. I used a beachy waiver crimper. Correct. Shock therapy is not widely used anymore. It is not snowing. Did you see the picture of Janelle posted of her dad and David, of her and David today? He has a shirt that says Unborn Lives Matter, even though Janelle has had an abortion before. I don't know why that... Who cares if Janelle's had an abortion before? Okay, the business stuff for Macy and Taylor, that's actually not that big of a deal. She has an LLC, which is a which she gets a license, a business license through the state. But in order to sell products, you actually don't have to have a business license. You can if you want to use your LLC to file taxes. So she just hasn't renewed her paperwork. So technically the company is dissolved. But all she would have to do is spend the like 20 or 15 or $20 and just file the renewed paperwork. That actually happened to me this year. I forgot to renew mine and it was dissolved for like 2 months and then I just renewed it. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not indicative of anything and she's not in any, they can still sell stuff. It's kind of like a much to do about nothing. I don't like this pimple. Do I think a lot of the drama on YouTube is staged and faked for publicity and views? Some of it, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that what happened with James Charles was not staged. 100%. That really did happen. And there's been some speculation that his new series, Shane's new series, will not include the drama that happened, but I guess it is supposed to pop up in some of the episodes coming down the line. I'm not sure when, but it will be a part of it. I do think that Trisha Paytas trolls. I do think some of them do troll. I mean, I think if you remember, like Shannon Rose got in trouble with like that mango tea and they created that fake drama for views. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I have not like seen anything beyond that. Do I like Jenna Marbles? I do. I like Jenna. She's grown up. Yeah, the Trisha and Nick Ocado one seemed really... I couldn't even tell, like... Him crying about it just seemed, like, so overdramatic to me. I was like, Nick, just stop. What happened with James? You don't remember what happened with James Charles in May? You better know. Yeah, it's just the old drama of James and Tati and Tanya. Oh my God. She's so boring. I have not seen her. I haven't even looked at her channel in years. Thank you, Tiffany. Who always cries? Nick Ocado. Oh, yeah. He was like totally crying. I was like, why are you crying? You know what confuses me about Nick Ocado is he was like a vegan and now he's like a mukbanger. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, she blocked me too. James is very much not canceled. He actually just released a mini pellet with Morphe this Friday. So James is still doing fine. Laura from... I didn't say anything. I said Laura has been spreading lies. I didn't say anything about scamming people. We're just talking. I finished my actual, like, rundown. I'm just chatting now. I already gave the scoop on the stuff I had, and then I just said I'd stay here and chat for a little bit. It's t-shirt time. I actually removed a bunch of moderators, so I'm not always having trouble in chat. We just have some people in chat that are having some trouble. It's not my moderators. Sorry, guys. Erica, it's fine. Let's just stop engaging. I don't want fighting in my chat. I am not a fan of The Hills. Never was when it was on. Thanks, Kayla. Kayla loves my channel. Thanks for the updates. Is slow mode on? I can turn slow mode off. There you go. Slow mode's off. Yeah, we normally have less. We actually don't have that many mods. I actually reduced the number of mods by a lot. I don't actually know anything about Rodney Reed. Sorry, Casey. I think the tell-all is on tonight, isn't it? I don't know. Jeffree Star stopped getting PR from Kylie, and Kylie stopped inviting him to stuff. So did Kim Kardashian, and I think they just don't want to be associated with him because of his troubling background, and I think that's part of the reason. That's just my opinion. I have no idea beyond that. But all of Jeffree's problems are kind of self-imposed. I don't think it was because Jeffree was honest about her makeup, to be honest. But her makeup isn't very good. But it's funny, they use the same lab. Jeffree and Kylie, it's all made by the same lab in California. Who knew? Allegedly. Thanks, Tiffany. Thanks, Jean. The snow is actually already melted. It was barely stuck. Any good crime stories lately? I haven't really been paying attention to crime lately. What brushes? I use Sephora brushes. All of my brushes are Sephora. Why does Amber's mental illness only come out around FE? I don't know what that means, Shauna. Thank you, Gina. Yes, they are made in the same lab in California. And ColourPop. I don't know why I don't know. I don't know enough about her illness. I don't know if it's I don't know, Shauna. I wish I did. I would have $1 million, I think, by this time. Thank you, Noel. Yeah, ColourPop, Kylie, and Jeffree are all made at the same place, and they're like made by these women that dad worked for L'Oreal, and I think it was L'Oreal, and then he left, and then L'Oreal actually sued him because they said that he took their formulas, but then they lost. I don't even know. It's so messy. I have not seen Cole's weight loss. Oh, Jeffree alleges a lot of things. Jeffree actually says that he owns Killer Merch, but he's not on the name of the company. I mean, all of that's public record. So he might be like an owner that's like not listed on the documents, but when you go to the Secretary of State, Jeffree's name is not on anything related to Killer Merch. So I don't know why that is. You can send me some messages. Oh, okay, makeup obsessed. You can send me some makeup. I'm always obsessed with makeup. I love makeup. Yeah, I don't know. I love free makeup. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch the third episode. To be honest, I haven't watched after the first episode of this series because I'm bored. And I heard Shane is launching a palette, and I would never buy a palette that had Shane's name on it because I wouldn't ever buy a palette that has Shane's name on it. In fact, you guys, I'm just going to be really honest. I don't buy any palettes that are connected to YouTubers at all. I don't trust new brands. I'm weird like that. New brands freak me out. I need something to be in the market for a while before I'll ever try something. Yeah, Shane's doing a palette with Jeffree. Like, he doesn't even... So here's the thing. My hairdresser and I were having this conversation while I was getting my hair retouched today. Was that Jeffree's friendships have all exploded. Every single person that's been close to him eventually becomes his enemy because he wants to be on top. He gets jealous of other people's success, in my opinion. He fabricates drama and I think manufactures attacks, in my opinion, against different channels to cancel people. And he has had problems with literally every single person that he is connected to on YouTube. I mean, he has had falling outs with everyone. Manny, Laura, Gabriel, Kat. I mean, Kat, who basically helped him get into the business and then accused him of not paying the person who did some of his logo designs, trashed her through the mud. And I am not a Kat Von D fan at all, but I definitely understood her point of view about why she would not want to be attached to him anymore, even though she is equally as problematic. But I don't think Kat is equally as vindictive or mean to people as Jeffree is. And so, I mean, every single person, he's now unfollowed Tati on social media. He destroyed his friendship with James. Every single person, he just explodes the relationship. And then he has all these T channels doing all of his dirty work. Rich Lux just did his 200th video about James Charles. For what? They literally make videos about James Charles and what he tweets daily. And they create drama that doesn't even need to be there. And it's crazy to me. And it's only going to be a matter of time before Jeffree gets sick of Shane and does the same thing to Shane. I am... Yeah, everyone that associates with Jeffrey gets dragged. So Shane will be at some point. My son is liking school.
Why aren't you laying down? Wake up the blanket. Alright, go to sleep.
Do you know anything about YouTuber Charlie Gold and what are your thoughts on her? I don't know Charlie Gold at all. I am myself, but I'm not okay with the moderators right now fighting with anyone. I have asked my moderators repeatedly not to argue with people in chat, and I have a couple moderators right now arguing with people, and I'm not okay with that. I don't like the tone that it sets on this channel. I don't like people that are here to chat upset with me and yelling at me. So can we please stop like being rude or yelling? Or I mean, Tiffany literally has said not one thing to me that has been against the rules. So please leave Tiffany alone. If I have to time out my moderators at this point, I will. You're being warned. Yeah, when the moderators are making it worse for me and making this entire conversation derail because of infighting that's going on, I'm not okay with this. If you guys continue this, I've already taken wrenches away from several people, and I will take wrenches away from more. I cannot have this kind of stuff going on in live chats, you guys. You're welcome, Tiffany. My son wants to be a dragon hybrid dinosaur. There are not any new updates on the Chrisleys right now. I did. I picked the moderators myself, but it got to a point where there were too many of them. And I'm starting to think I still have too many. And that doesn't mean that people are doing a bad job. It's just like when there's too many cooks in the kitchen. The one thing I don't like is fighting. I don't like it when moderators are arguing with each other. I don't like when moderators are arguing with my subscribers. It makes me feel really ill because I wouldn't argue with my subscribers. I haven't seen anything in chat that's been completely out of the rules here. So, yeah, I saw one comment that was deleted that was appropriately to be deleted, but I've already told you guys that unless your names are Dread, Scarlet, or Jesse, you are not to delete anything. We had that talk a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Sandra, you're not supposed to delete anything though. That's the thing. actually, I do need moderators because I get a lot of people that come in and say bad things to me. No, you're not time. We don't time things out either. Thanks for that compliment, Andrew. I picked moderators who had been here for a long time, but like I said, I'm not adding any more moderators. Sandy, we're not going to talk about this anymore. If you want to ask me questions, please DM me, but this is taking over the entire, this is like completely derailing this, and I'm not okay with this. No, the moderators do not get paid. They don't pay to do this. Okay, Tiffany, we're gonna stop. I already like talked to my moderators. Like, we're letting this go. Please. Yeah. What's my stance about adult legal marijuana? I don't care. Sweetie is sleeping. Yep, she's sleeping. I will not use CBD with my son. My dogs are 3 and 1. Thank you, Tori. I love you too. I try not to talk about medical marijuana because it's really controversial, and every time it gets brought up, people get pissed off. I can never say the right things, so I try not to even talk about it. I've told you guys all that I used to smoke. I am not shy about that. I will not use any of these products on my son. Not enough is known about it for children. At this point, none of it is regulated by the FDA, even though it's legalized. So that's kind of my stance at this point. I started like getting featured on YouTube channels like a year ago. My channel has had content on it since March. Yeah, I just can't talk about it. It's like if I say I'm for it, or if I'm against it, or if I even have an opinion that's slightly outdated or slightly skewed, I just don't want to start like fights. And I used to do a lot of that. I used to talk a lot about alternative health, and it got really exhausting because everyone has an opinion, and no matter what you say, you can't change someone's opinion. And so I just always stick with, this is what I'm going to do. You can do what you do. Oh, thank you, Taylor. I'm sure he'll be really excited. Yeah, anecdotes do not equal data. There's no news on Susan Schofield. Nope. Okay, Nick. Why am I inconspicuous about how Andrew gave you leaked audio? Andrew did not give me leaked audio. Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't want people to disassociate because of like what my opinion is about it, because to me it's not a relevant topic in my home. And so like I don't want to like take something from someone else. Like if it's something that you are using and it works for you, I don't want to like take that away from you. And so I just have no comment. You can rewind this chat. I already talked about Laura. It's in the beginning of this video. My favorite Halloween movie. I don't really have a favorite Halloween movie. Is the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown one? Laura, Tiffany, I already said that the stuff with Laura, you can find it at the beginning of this video if you want to rewind this chat, to the beginning. I will not be doing call-ins for quite some time. There is a group that exists on Facebook, and I will not be doing call-ins because they watch these live streams and they will bombard me with spam calls. So I will not be doing call-ins. Yes, I did see that Jade is getting sued over not paying rent and evicted, but that's the house that she moved out of in this last episode of Teen Mom 2. I did a video on essential oils because I'm firmly against essential oils because they are extremely dangerous. Should not be used on kids. Yes, Girl Loves Hemp. I did talk about Jenny, Angelina, all of that. That's at the beginning of this live stream. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is getting really weird about stuff, to be honest. They don't like any sort of discussion about alternative health stuff, and they're removing all of it. And even if you like are trying to educate people about it, they demonetize it. And I just tell people not to get involved with multi-level marketing companies. I don't think he has a lawsuit with Kate at this time that I know of. Stephanie Tully, we've just been having issues in chat, but everything is getting back up. So I'm hoping to get my stuff back up. But everything is calming down, so I should get more upbeat soon. Sorry if I'm a little flat. Oh, Michelle, there is not a lawsuit that I know of about the work permits, but I don't know. He didn't mention anything about that. This sweater is actually like 3 years old, and I think I got it at Maurice's. I'm a big sweater lover because I live in Minnesota. I talked about Ronnie in the beginning of this video. I love Maurice's too. It was in the 30s today. Girl Loves Hemp. It was so cold. My son was so annoyed. He wants to go out and swing, and like we can't go swinging right now. Yep. I'm in Minnesota. The Vikings, it was a good day. The Gopher football team won and beat Nebraska, actually destroyed Nebraska. I think it was 34-6, 7. And the Vikings beat the Eagles today, 38-20. Skol! Stephon Diggs had 3 touchdowns. Yeah, the Gophers are 6-0, and they're playing Maryland and Illinois in the next 2 weeks. So by the time they play Penn State, they could be 8-0. Crazy. How do I not have more of an accent? I don't know. How are you loving my new TV? I really like it. It's been nice. We've been able to watch stuff downstairs with my son. We've lived in this house for 6 years. Yeah, almost 6 years. And we've never had a TV on our main floor, ever. Because we didn't want the TV to be the focal point of our family. But we realized quickly that my husband loves football. And if we were going to watch football, we'd have to go downstairs. But the kitchen is upstairs, and if I wanted to cook and watch like the football game with him, I couldn't watch it. We couldn't watch movies together because my son never wants to go into the basement. So we were like, all right, we're gonna bring the TV upstairs. Do I have a lot more subs in Minnesota? I don't know. On a bigger TV, football players' pants look tighter. I actually don't watch a lot of football, but I used to. I used to do fantasy football. I loved it so much. I actually won the last time I played fantasy football. It was me and 11 guys, and I won. So I have an accent. I can definitely hear it. Like I could hear my accent when I was on live with Leslie. But I live in the metro area, and I had 16 years of sales where I talked to people all across the country, like 9 hours a day. And I think that when you talk to different people 9 hours out of your day from all over the country, you kind of just get more of a blanket blah. But I can definitely tell when my accent comes out. I grew up in Minneapolis, so it was pretty urban. I have one son and we do not want any more children. I only ever wanted one child. Yeah. Yes, born and raised in Minnesota. I lived in California though for a year, and I lived in Spain for 6 months. So I've kind of traveled quite a bit. Yeah, I will say this though, the accents can get a lot thicker here. I live in sort of a rural-ish offshoot town right outside of the Twin Cities, and people that are from here that didn't grow up in Minneapolis and didn't like live that have lived here their whole time, their accents are way thicker than mine. But I grew up in Minneapolis. I'm sure my accent is strong for people that are from the South. It could be a lot worse. People from the South have a very strong accent too, to me. Yeah, like people will be like, oh, you betcha. Don't you know? Like that's how thick it is. Oh gosh. Gonna have some potluck. Gonna go to church and have some potluck. Oh. I'm gonna go have some potluck. We're gonna go have some goulash. Everyone's gonna make their own food, you know. We're gonna have some potatoes and we're gonna have some soup. Gonna have some goulash. Gotta have the tater tot hot dish. Ooh, I love that tater tot hot dish. Don't you know? Yeah. Odell Beckham Jr. Odell. So Chelsea, she's from South Dakota. And she's like from Sioux Falls, which is like 5 hours from here. 4 hours from here. Gonna have some tater tot hot dish with my goulash at the potluck. Then we're gonna go sit in the garage and have some beers. I know, we don't say don't you know. I'm just exaggerating. Although that's not true. My grandma used to say don't you know all the time. I say soda. I don't say pop. Or yeah. 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 Can I do a Boston accent? I'm gonna park the car. I dated a boy from Massachusetts. He'd be like, you wanna go sit on the porch, have some beer? Katie, you wanna go sit on the porch, have some beer? Oh my God. Oh my God. I spent summers in Maine. And I remember we were lost one time and we were like, how do we get there? And they're like, can't get there from here. You can't get there from here. Oh. Oh, that was another one. Gonna go have some chowder at the park with my beer on the porch. Oh my God, yeah. My ex-boyfriend was from Mattapoisett on the Cape. Gonna go have some beer. Yeah. He was from Cape Cod. So, he had a thick accent. Janelle! Janelle! Kifa! Kifa's gonna make you crazy! Kifa! You smoke a weed with Kifa? Kifa! Dave is gonna take everything! Janelle! Smoke a weed with your boyfriend! Oh my god. Ryan. All Ryan says is, yep. Yep. Mom said I can't see Bentley. Yep. And then Mackenzie's like, Ryan. Ryan's got the PTSD. Ryan. Who do I sound like? I don't know who I sound like. Oh my god, Farrah. She was interviewed by Entertainment Tonight. I was actually watching this this interview, and she was like, she's like, well, you know, I was doing a lot of things when I was a kid. Like, I was doing pageants and I was modeling, and my mom sent me to all these places, and I was doing all this local stuff because I was like really big. I was probably like the most popular person in the 3-state area of like Iowa, Nebraska, and some other state. I was so popular, and I'm so big time, and I was just like looking for a job, and then like Teen Mom OG came up, and they were all like looking for kids that were pregnant, and I was like knocked up, and I was like the most amazing knocked up person ever. Barbara's from Pennsylvania, I think. I was embarrassed for her too, Miss Foley. I was the most popular person in all of Iowa, because there's only like 5 people in Iowa, and I was the most. I'm like Midwest. I'm so Midwest that I'm so over West. I'm like the most West. I'm not Midwest. I'm above West. Oh, man. No, Kim K is always like, that's just gross. Hey, can you just get me, Kanye? I need to take another selfie. Could you go get Northwest? Because I need her to take pictures of my cleavage. North, could you come and take pictures of my cleavage? Because I'm going to be an attorney. And my attorneyness is all based on how much of my cleavage you can see. And we are so above everything. We are so much more popular than you. Chloe, nobody cares about Tristan. Tristan is so extra. I can't even believe you would talk to Tristan. Kim is like the mean sister. And that was so bad, you guys. I mean, I was shopping with Kanye, and he was like putting me in these clothes, and I was like, Kanye, why are you trying to cover my twins? My twins are what made me famous. And Chloe, nobody cares about Tristan. Scott, will you just get a job? Courtney, why is your butt always out? Kyle's like the only one that's actually normal, probably. And then Kylie's like, how can I piss off the internet, you guys? Like, I'm a bajillionaire and I should just have like a Handmaid's Tales party. And then after I do that, I'm gonna have Travis put like all kinds of flower petals on my floor and spend like $400,000 on Travis on petals. But we're gonna break up and I'm just gonna have babies with somebody else, maybe Lamar Odom. I was thinking since Chloe couldn't get pregnant by him, maybe I could. If not that, I could just call Tristan since he and Jordan are done. Oh my God. Courtney is so annoying. Oh my God, I don't like Courtney. Ugh. Did you see the episode where like they were talking, like it was after Tristan and like and her broke up and she found Jordan was cheating on her and they all go on that girls weekend and like Kylie had to call Kim and being like, you guys are bullying Jordan, and Kim was like, oh yeah, we totally were. Oh my God. I'm like 38 and my 22-year-old sister just reminded me that I was an internet bully. That was so not like me. I should never have done that. We were just having fun, like being like snarky. And I didn't even really consider the fact that I have like 4 billion subscribers and like 30 more bajillion followers on Instagram that might take that personally. Ugh. No, Courtney's always like, are you eating sugar? Because sugar is really bad for you. And you have only, you should only ever eat like half of a banana a day, because if you eat more than a half a banana, your body cannot digest it. And everything in my house is organic, sourced locally at the farmer's market by farmers that live down the street from me, and I only drink natural spring water from a mine that I found in Ecuador that I own, and I also make my own sugar, but I don't use sugar because sugar is really bad. You guys, I'm gonna chew up my placenta now. I'm gonna bake it. I just had my baby and I think it's really cool if we would just like commit cannibalism together. So would you want to eat my placenta with me? I could make it into some lasagna and then we could have some placenta encapsulation that would be organic, non-GMO, and locally sourced, fair trade. Courtney's annoying. I still can't master Leah from, like, I can't do her accent from Teen Mom 2, so I don't know that I'll ever be able to do Leah. You guys, don't eat your placenta, please. Don't ever eat your placenta. Don't. I don't know how to do Kale's accent. I don't think I could do Kale's accent if I tried. She's always bitching about Joe. It's fair trade placenta and it's locally sourced from my uterus. And my uterus has, it's non-GMO, it's organic. It's actually vegan because I consented to letting you eat my placenta, and I harvested it with kindness after my child was born. And because it's fair trade, cruelty free, and vegan, it'll actually make you live until you're 3,000 years old. My uterus is organic. I use water that I get from Ecuador, and I own the mine there, and I only use fair trade children to mine the water. So I know that people are like, you shouldn't use labor of children, but like, you don't understand. Like, children make the best water, and they can fair trade organic source it for non-GMO. The children are actually fair trade. I actually use like 4-year-olds to mine my water. They're organic, they're vegan, and you actually could buy them in a market. I bought my children for $4 for 3 of them in Colombia, and then I moved them to the United States, and then I pretended that I got pregnant, and then I put a bump on, and then I pretended that Scott was the dad. But they're really from Costa Rica, and they're organic, fair trade children for $4 for 3. Oh my God. Oh, my Chelsea impression. Dad, I just don't want to see him. I don't want Adam to be her. Dad, I just don't understand why Adam always has to be here. Cole, can you get the baby? I just don't want to do this, Cole. Mom, why aren't you doing that? I don't want to. Pull the car over. I don't want to see Adam. She's always whining. Chelsea is always whining. Even when she's not talking, she's like, oh my God, we just bought Cole. We just got property. Can you even believe it? I just hate the way she talks. Oh my God. Oh, who bullied me and took your lunch money? Derek, I'm 13. I'm 14 actually, and I'm organic. My husband's yelling at the dogs right now. I should probably go downstairs, to be honest. You guys, what's funny is that all of what I'm saying will probably show up on Twitter at like a soundbite of me being mean to someone and insensitive. Katie was being so insensitive because Katie is she's a liar, and she doesn't fact check, and she is just a horrible human being, and everyone needs to know how exposed Katie is. Katie is lying to all of you guys. She's just a big lying liar. Ugh. Do people actually talk about me? They do. They do. I lie about everything. Didn't you know that? I'm a liar. I'm a meanie poopy head. I hate everyone. I'm a liar, poopy head, liar. That's pretty much what they say. Oh, I don't care if I'm a topic. I was just laughing. Cypress, I honestly don't care that I'm a topic. It's more like what the topic is just ridiculous. Like the latest in the Amber support group is that I'm sleeping with Andrew and I am having an affair with Matt Beyer. I'm also in the Illuminati and I'm into voodoo. I deleted messages that were not appropriate and from someone who admitted they were literally here to troll. So we're not trying to have the chat filled with people that are here to troll. Yeah, there was one of those groups was talking about my son. One of those groups is like, you need to tell everyone, spread the rumor that Katie has Munchausen's by proxy. Spread the rumor that her son is not really sick. Everyone, tell everyone that Katie is a really big poopy meanie head. Yes, I do use toner, but I had my hair fixed today because the toner fell out of my roots, and so I actually had to go to the hair salon. She fixed my hair for free, and I bought a new curler thing. I don't know. There's actually this one teen mom chat group on Facebook, and it's super mean, and it says like, do you understand that kids aren't off limits? Like, we will talk shit about kids. Like, that's one of the questions when you try to get into the group. It's weird. I go to a salon called Simonson's, but it's really my hairdresser that I love. Her name is Nikki. And she watches this channel and gets really excited when I talk about her. And tonight during my hair appointment, we were talking about all the drama on the YouTube. Ah, Lacey. Oh, for the toning shampoo, is that what you're talking about? I use Barcelona. Pulp Riot. That's correct. To be honest, my opinion about all of it is that I have no opinion. At this point in time, anything that they're saying about me is false. And anyone that's claiming to know me doesn't. And really, that's it, you know? So no more needs to there. Did I get what on Amazon? Or am I Oh, I used to watch the challenge. I cannot believe that. The challenge is still on. So it's silver right now because I literally just came home from the salon. And so it has like a silvery like ice, like an icy on it right now. But that will like, the silvery part of it will sort of wash out within a couple days. And then it'll just be sort of like platinum. This is just because the toner is literally still in my hair right now. Hope that makes sense. I wouldn't say I'm really a tea channel. Like, I'm doing tonight's tea, but I'm not like a typical tea channel. I cover a lot of different topics, not just tea. I'm covering the story about the little girl from the Ukraine and the adoption thing. Amber Portwood's case, the Chrisleys case. I haven't really found a new crime case that I'm interested in. A lot of people have asked me to do Chris Watts. Nope. I will not do anything related to Chris Watts. Not gonna happen. Oh, I cover Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff every once in a while. I talked to Christy earlier today, her stepmother, just to check in, to say hi. Yes, the Tati stuff, Girl Loves Home. Yes. I kind of shifted focuses. I have to really get like into something or passionate about something before I'll actually do the story. Like, I did a bunch of videos on Tati and like all of the, like, her lies. I did a couple on Jeffrey and his lies. I don't really know. You know what case I was absolutely obsessed with? Jodi Arias. That case was nuts. Oh my God. I was obsessed with her. That was the most ridiculous case ever. And Travis and all of her trying to be a Mormon for him and him not wanting to be with her because it made him feel slutty, and then she murdered him. Like, holy crap, was I obsessed with Jodi Arias. That case was nuts. My hair is shaved partially right here. And it's not because it's like trendy or cool. It's because I have like really frizzy hair here that just does not behave. And it's like part of a colic. And so I fight with it every time I'm trying to like do something with it. And so I was like, one day I was with my hairdresser and I was like, can we just get rid of this? I just don't even want this on my head anymore. And she's like, let's just shave it. So it's like a triangle right here that's shaved. I don't know if you can see it. I like it. I think Nancy Grace is just a little bit too intense for me. Let's say that. Yeah, Nancy Grace used to be really good, but she gets so intensely over things and like tries cases before they're done. Like, she was crazy about Casey Anthony. That was another one I was really into for a while. You know what story I was massively into was the Scott Peterson case, when he killed his pregnant wife Lacey. And that's why I won't do Chris Watts, because I already got super invested in the Scott Peterson case, and I just can't do another father that murdered his kids. It literally like gutted me when Lacey was found in the bay. I just was so distraught. Oh my God, the Betty Broderick case is crazy. That case is not. Oh my God. She's like certifiable. In the Betty Broderick case, she killed her husband and his new wife. She was like, her husband was an attorney, and she was like, she like basically like they had a bunch of kids, and he like she helped support him while he went to law school, and then he became an attorney, and then they had some kids, and then he ended up having an affair with one of his, I think, assistants, and then he ends up marrying her. And Betty just became super unhinged after her husband had an affair, and he ended up leaving her, and her mental health got like worse and worse and worse, and she started making threats. And because of his like he was an attorney that had a lot of connections, she said that it was like impossible, like he took away the kid. She blamed him for everything, but like her behavior was just so, she was like stalking him and like doing really vicious, vindictive things to him, and like was really unstable. And so he ended up getting custody of the kids, and then she like lost her mind, and just was, oh my God. The Betty Broderick story is so incredibly crazy. So then she ended up like threatening him, and she was like saying, well, he's more powerful than me, and I didn't have access to this, to that, to that, anything. But she was like a narcissist that basically like lost her control of him, and she couldn't let go of the fact that he had moved on. And so she like let that get into every single aspect. She couldn't take care of the kids. He ended up getting custody of the kids because he was afraid for the kids' safety. Rightfully so. And she started threatening him, and then she freaking broke into his house. He had a restraining order against her, and he broke, and it was Dan and Linda. That's who he killed. That's who she killed. She broke into Dan's house and killed Dan and Linda while they were sleeping. The Betty Broderick story, it happened like in the 90s, I think. There was a Lifetime movie on it. Meredith Baxter Birney played her. It is seriously one of the most... Betty is, to this day, denies it. She still blames her husband, her ex-husband, for it. I mean, she was so unhinged at the end. I don't listen to podcasts. Betty Broderick was 1989. Okay. Matt remembers. But that was she had like a bunch of kids, and yeah, Betty literally doesn't think she did anything wrong. I mean, it's crazy. And when she talks, it's just like, it's like she still blames Dan and Linda, and she murdered them. Like, so I can't even comprehend it. The you know what another story was super big when I was in high school was Joey Buttafuoco and Amy Fisher. Holy crap, that was like super big when I was in high school. Um the Menendez trial was super big. OJ Simpson's trial was when I was a freshman in high school. Um, Lacey Spears. Oh my God, she was in a feeding tube group that I was in. That case is crazy. Yes, the Long Island Lolita. Or like, oh my God, the Heidi Fleiss case. Oh my God. God. I do true crime sometimes. Lacey Spears. Okay, Lacey Spears was a mother of a little boy named, God, was his name Grayson, I think? I don't even remember. And she was basically like making her son sick. She was like withholding food from him, but she wasn't like, doctors at the time didn't know. But somehow she ended up getting her son a feeding tube and had convinced everyone that her son had all of these illnesses. And then while she was in the hospital, he had been like, her son had been hospitalized, like, I don't even know, multiple times for like some issues where she said he was having seizures, but the doctors could never like see the seizures. So they would like admit him for inpatient observation. Well, on one visit, they noted that his sodium levels were like super, super high. And so they were trying to take steps to like take down the sodium levels in him. But the sodium levels kept going up. And so then they put her into a room and she was like putting salt into her son's G tube. And he ended up dying from salt poisoning. And they had her on camera, like in the hospital, basically like killing her son. And then when they went to her house to like get like to take pictures and to see she had just tons of salt like in his feeding tube bags. And she was like basically using like salt as a means to like induce symptoms in her son to get attention. But ultimately she killed him. And he ends up dying in the hospital, and she literally denies it. Even though when they went to her house and they found like the formula, it was mixed with so much salt, and they found salt like on her while she was there. They like found salt like I think in her purse or like in a syringe. It was crazy. Like, yeah. She's in prison. There's another mom in Texas. Oh, there's a mom currently in Georgia. Oh, there's a mom in Texas that was actually just sentenced to prison for 6 years. Her son had gone to the doctor 320 times in like 5 years and had him on oxygen and all this stuff. Turned out he didn't have anything wrong with him. Yeah, meatball money for being late. Oh, thank you, Fairy Dusted. Yeah, there's, oh my God. Salt, just a small amount of salt is so toxic for a kid. There was this one case I covered of this woman. Oh, God, I cannot remember her name. She ended up getting mad at her husband. So she was like at home and her boyfriend and her, or her fiance and her, like got into an argument, and they ended up splitting up. And when she was like really mad at him one day, she was like feeding her, like, I don't even know, like her toddler, like her 18-month-old daughter. And she decided that she was going to put salt in her daughter's mouth in order to get attention from her ex-husband to come home and come back to her. And so she put like a tablespoon of salt in her daughter's mouth, and her daughter died. So she poisoned her daughter with salt in an effort to get her ex-husband's attention, and then her daughter died. Yeah. She was sentenced, I think, to life in prison. I can't remember. Do men ever exhibit the disease of Munchausen's by proxy? They can, but I think most of the time it's women. But it's really rare, you guys, just so you know. Like, it's not common. Yeah, 320 doctor's appointments. It's crazy. I am getting really tired. How common is Munchausen's by proxy in general? It's extremely rare. Rare. The problem is that everyone thinks everyone has it now that like there's been more prominent cases, but it's extremely rare. It doesn't happen very frequently. It's extremely difficult to prove as well. And yeah. I don't know, that would be like a killer nurse. I think Stephen Avery did it. 100%. I'll tell you a conspiracy theory. Autism and vaccines. It's not real. All right, you guys, I'm super tired. I need to rest. I feel like my eyeballs are going to fall out of my head. And I have to take my medication before I go to sleep because I can't sleep without my meds. And to do that, I have to have a snack, and I need to take it before 10 o'clock so I don't stay up until midnight. So I'm going to log off, and I'm sure that will become some sort of soundbite about how I'm a medicated person that can't handle my life, but whatever. Thank you, Matt, for showing up tonight. Matt, we need to get you on to talk about marriage boot camp soon. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Bye. Thanks, everyone, for the super chats.